All right, welcome everyone. We're going to get started shortly. We're just finishing setting up here. Okay, welcome everyone. Tri Club for Facebook. For those of you that are going to be using Zwift, I'm going to count us in, but before we get started, the most important thing that you can do for this assessment is go to your settings in Zwift. I'll put on mine so that you can see what I'm going to do. Is go to your settings and turn off or turn down your trainer difficulty all the way down. The reason why we do that is because when we get into the free ride portion, we don't want our hills and descents to have an effect on our effort levels. So when we turn that down, whether we're going uphill or downhill, we won't really notice a difference. And then when everybody's ready, here, I will count everybody in. So we'll bring this back up. Okay, no music. This is just going to be a pure sufferfest. Okay. Michelle, can you hear me pretty well? I am currently mic'd up at the moment, but okay, so welcome from the Aspen Triathlon Club, officially. For those using Zwift, we'll count down in 3, 2, 1 to get started and start cycling. Ooh, wait 1 second. My trainer just came undone. All right, so we're going to pause that, and everybody can get started again. That would be a wake-up call when we get into the 10-second sprints. Okay, and we're back. So everybody can get started. Hopefully you're about 10 to 15 seconds at the moment if you're on a Zwift workout. We want to be as close as we can so that we start our intervals at the same time. So you can see my little Zwift screen in the bottom right-hand corner. And that's going to come a little bit bigger when we get into some of the efforts. Okay, so Ladies, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Yeah? You ready for this? Did everybody hydrate and fuel well before coming?
Tried to.
Tried to? Okay. So, those of you who are online using the Zwift file, you'll see it jumps back and forth between ERG mode and no ERG. That just means if you're on a smart trainer, it'll either gear for you in ERG mode or you'll do your own gearing in no ERG mode. When we're doing the actual assessments, which I'll get to in a second, you want to be controlling the gears on your own so that you can really self-select the amount of effort that you're putting in. And so we jump to no ERG mode just so that we can have that full control. Liz, for you, with the speed sensor, you won't have to worry. You're just gonna go as hard as you can for as far as you can go in our assessment periods. Okay. Ideally, if you can hit the lap button at the start of each one, that makes it a lot easier for post-ride analysis. Jenny, as per usual, heart rate. We are likely not going to see much of a difference compared to the heart rate that we got last time, but we may see it go up a little bit depending on how much effort you put in. I mean, it's super hot here at the moment, so I didn't plug in my fan. No, if you guys are suffering, I can suffer as well. We may have to open that door for a little bit because it's hot in here from the dance crew before us. Liz, are you going to take the lead on that? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So today, we have an assessment that's a little bit different than all of the other assessments that we've done. Before, oh, you're going to plug that in too? You're amazing. Okay, you don't have to do this today. You get to just have a nice, easy ride.
Exactly what I'm doing.
So today, I mean, we did the 20-minute assessment at the beginning of January to really see, thank you, that's perfect, to really see where we were at the beginning of the year, see how we felt. Now, because we're coming from an off season, we're actually gaining a lot of fitness really, really quickly. We're gaining a lot of fitness back. And so we test, yes, you, we test frequently at the beginning of the year, so like every 4 weeks, to really stay on top of the fitness that we're gaining back. Whereas, did she just leave? Okay. Whereas maybe later in the season when it's slower, we'll test every 6 weeks because this is pretty mentally draining. We have about 4 minutes left of a nice warm-up. Ah, good idea. About 4 minutes left of a nice warm-up. The way this is going to break down today, I'm going to put this one back on. The way this is going to break down today is we have assessments of our max power. We have assessments of our anaerobic endurance. So how our endurance is without the presence of oxygen. That doesn't sound fun. How our VO2 max efforts are. And finally, how our aerobic endurance are. So it's similar to our previous one, but this time I actually got the right workout. So we have some 30-second efforts to bring some nice blood into the muscles. And then we'll have 2 10-second sprints. It's an all-out effort, as hard as you can go for that 10 seconds. Then we'll have some recovery. Then we'll have, I think it's a 5-minute VO2 max effort. Everything on the line. Then a 20-minute aerobic capacity effort, or just aerobic endurance effort. And then finally, a 2-minute, go out as hard as you can and just hang on, okay?
Okay.
These are not fun, but they tell you a lot.
Yeah.
So, about 2 more minutes before we're going to have a minute relatively easy, and then a 36-second effort. 30 seconds easy, 30 seconds hard, minute easy, 30 seconds hard, okay? You don't need to blow your legs up on these. Just increase the effort so that you get blood flowing to them. The key to today's efforts, again, are pacing. Make sure you don't start out too hard. Break it into quarters like we usually do. The first quarter should be like, okay. Second, this is going to be tough. Third, I'm not going to be able to hold this. 4, you can do anything in the last fourth. 20-minute effort and 5-minute effort. So break it down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. If I can speak, I will try and do that for you. Likely I won't be able to speak.
Did you ride today?
I snowboarded, yeah, just for the morning. And I had really hard efforts run yesterday where it was 1.5 minutes at a 5:15 pace with a 2% incline. Sorry?
Are you riding inside?
I'm doing everything inside at the moment, yeah. I love it though.
I've had 2 friends get concussions this winter from running outside and falling.
Oh, just because of the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
I'm terrified.
30 seconds until we're just gonna have a nice, easy effort for 1 minute before that 30-second opener. Okay, the other thing that I will say is no cheating.
How do you cheat? So easy?
You take it a little bit easy on that 5 minutes. You don't go all out, so you have something for the 20. Or you don't put in as much effort as you should when it comes to the 10-second sprints. Each one, okay, so we have a minute, nice recovery here before we do 30 seconds at a harder effort. So the key here, and to have a good assessment, is making sure that you're putting everything forward when we do. And so a lot of 20-minute tests that you race or that you try to determine FTP, you'll take a percentage of that, 95%, and that's what you're estimated to be able to hold for 60 minutes. Here, because of the nature of it, that 20 minute, 100% of that is our FTP, because we're doing that really hard effort. Okay, so here come the 30-second openers. I'm gonna make this big so that you can see. 10 seconds. Again, not all out, but nice hard effort. You're definitely gonna gear up. 2, 1, all right. 30 seconds. Keep that cadence high. Make sure it's firing. Think about those really nice, smooth, rounded pedal strokes. 12 seconds left. Smooth consistency. Stay on top of your breathing already. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Drop back down. So 30 seconds easy. So when I say stay on top of your breathing, as soon as you start the interval, start breathing deeply, even if you don't feel like you need to. 14 seconds, and I'm already out of breath.
This is the one. It's like that feeling of like you're not warmed up yet.
5 seconds to build up.
Get it together.
All right, here we go, 30 seconds again. So that's why we do these 30-second efforts, is to really get that warm up. I mean, ideally, we want to be warming up 15, 20 minutes. We just don't have that kind of time. So doing these short, hard efforts just to get the blood flowing really helps. 8 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and drop it back down. Nice and easy for a minute. And then we will have one more 30-second effort. Does anyone have any questions before we get started? Because we're probably not going to have a lot of conversational time once this is, yeah. Good time to take in some fuel. 30 seconds. Mine hasn't come out of the cupboard. 15 seconds and it's the last 30. And then we still have some sprints, so don't worry. 10 seconds until the last 30. This one might be a little bit easier than the last one we just did. All right, pick it up a little bit. 28 seconds. Nice, smooth pedal strokes. Knees like pistons, straight up and down, straight up and down, straight up and down. Start thinking about how you're going to attack these intervals. Because I can promise you that your mind is going to want to give up well before you should. And that's just, okay, minute and a half easy. And that's just the nature of this type of work. So, yeah, we are. We have a minute and 17 seconds easy. So, Jenny, especially for you, so we're doing heart rate, and like I said, it may not change from our last assessment. People are like, well, the hell's the point then? But this is an incredibly useful workout just on its own. And the fact that we're working at this high level of an effort will benefit you. Your threshold heart rate typically doesn't change very much. So when I started, I think I've said this before, I was around like 164, 165. I'm now 168. That's not a huge difference. It does improve, but something like a speed sensor may be beneficial to you in the future, because then you can be like, well, I went 18 miles this last time. This time I went 18.4 miles. I improved. But don't feel like, oh, I'm not going to get a benefit from this. Why am I doing it? Not that you would ever. All right. So for those of you on a smart trainer, we're going to switch out of ERG and you're going to use your own gears. And we have about a minute and a half where we just play around here. I want you to still keep it nice and easy, but just get into the gears that are comfortable. We are going to be doing a 10-second sprint at the end of this. With that 10-second sprint, it's the highest effort you can hold for that 10 seconds. So build into it. I'm going to notify you when we have about 10 seconds left. I want you to start increasing your cadence, increasing your gearing, so that when we hit that go, you're already there, okay? 40 seconds. We do this twice because a lot of the times we screw up the first time. For those of you who are using power, Michelle, looking at you, we really want this to develop a really strong power curve. So these are important. 20 seconds. Get into a gear. 15. I'm starting to build now. Still nice and easy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, go. And done. Okay, that's the first one. Drop back down. Yeah, that'll get it going. It is an all-out 10-second. So again, so we have a minute and a half recovery here. Whew. So again, depending on the athlete, some athletes will put out insane amounts of power for 10 seconds. But then you get them to try and ride 60 minutes, and they have nothing. Whereas some athletes can ride for 4.5 hours hard, but can't sprint whatsoever. And those are common scenarios because they practice what they're good at, and that's the only thing they focus on. So to be a well-rounded athlete, we make sure that we hit all zones. And that's why we're periodized at the moment. So for me, in this assessment, my short-term power should be a lot higher than what it was when we tested 4 weeks ago. The reason why is we've done 20-second efforts, 30-second efforts, 45-second efforts, all strength, all short, all hard. But if we were doing all 30, 40-minute efforts, then I would expect my endurance is really good. So depending on what you're working on, it'll have a dramatic effect on what improves and what stays stagnant. So Liz, for you, I would say we likely are just much more of a steady state rider, which is why we have to work on that. Okay, 1:50 seconds left in this recovery. We just kicked off ERG. So we've talked about this as well. Jenny just said she's more of a sprinter, she feels. And that is mainly genetic and muscle makeup, but also a lot of how you train. And so I'm very similar, where I can pack on muscle in a heartbeat. I'm really good at short, punchy things like soccer. I really have to train to go long distance, but that's my muscle makeup, is I have a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers and not as many slow twitch. Doesn't stop you, but all right, 1 minute. I will also, for the record, throw this up. We're coming live from Aspen, Colorado, which is at 8,000 feet. So if you see us gasping for air, that's our excuse. It's one of our excuses. Should also introduce, that'll make it difficult. Should also formally introduce myself as I'm Thomas McPherson, and I'm the head coach and the chief, bless you, scientist here at the Aspen Triathlon Club. 20 seconds, so get ready to build. 19. Liz, this one you're gonna get. 10 seconds. 5. I'm gonna stand for this one, but feel free to stay seated. Go. And done. Whew. Broke 1,000 watts. It's okay, it's anaerobic. It doesn't matter how many you can take. All right, 2 minutes. Nice and easy. So, I'm excited. It's the first time I've broken 1,000 watts at Aspen. So, now to put that in perspective, February, second week of February. I was super excited until the avalanche recently. It's terrifying. So I've been doing a lot of research and stuff. Okay, so our 10-second efforts are done. Sadly, those are the easy ones. Next thing we have coming up, 5-minute VO2 max effort. So, Liz, if I don't see you huffing and puffing at the end of this, literally like trying to get more oxygen, we know that you didn't push hard enough, okay? Again, we're gonna try and pace this so that the first 1:15, we're like, okay, that's difficult. Second is like, uh-oh. Third is like, no way. And then the last minute, we can hold on. You can hold on. Problem is we don't get a whole heck of a lot of recovery. Only 3 minutes from that last effort, so those of you that are interested online, we're using the Zwift platform for our training that you can see in the background, where you can see my avatar. You can also find us on Facebook at Aspen Try, which is likely where you're streaming this from, or on our more used Instagram account of Aspen Triathlon Club. All right, 5 minute all out aerobic max coming up in 30 seconds. Get that breath in now. Ten seconds. Start building into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. About a minute in. Quarter of the way. Keep that cadence up. Halfway. The legs are on fire. Three-quarters of the way. 1 minute. Anything for 1 minute. "45. "30, hang in there. Ugh. 15. 10. 5. And done. Oh. Trying to get to you. All right. In this recovery, we'll throw this on for now. So, if I'm not mistaken, the comment was, I feel like I'm bouncing a lot on the saddle. Yeah. So, you are bang on right. That has to do with the smoothness of your pedal stroke. And so, what's happening is you're at too high of a cadence for what feels comfortable to you, or what I think is happening for you is that you're too focused on the push down. So you're pushing yourself off every time instead of coming around the top and smoothly transitioning into that push down. So in our recoveries, I'm working way too hard for a recovery. In our recoveries, a good time to think about push your toes forward when you're coming over the top, push your foot down on the downstroke, scrape the mud off the bottom of your feet, on the bottom, just unweight on the top. Doing those unweighted single leg drills really helps get that smoothness. So your cadence to me didn't look abnormally high. I would actually recommend a higher cadence for that effort. That's mainly because your cadence was too low in the beginning, so it was very muscularly demanding. By the time you got to the end, your legs just couldn't handle it. So the faster your cadence, the more you unweight that effort from your legs, put it on your heart and lungs. So that's why, as much as I love torque intervals, we also do high cadence work to get comfortable with a higher cadence. Yeah, you can gear down, but even in the same gear, it will get easier if you're spinning faster. A little hard on a trainer where the resistance gets harder the faster your wheel spins. So here I would recommend gear down. Outside you may not have to. Okay, we have 1 more minute. Easy. Then 1 minute of getting prepared for the 20-minute effort. Oh God. That's 4 times as long as that last one. Get in some fluids. Yeah. Exactly. I apologize for those of you online who may be hearing me huff and puff right in the microphone. All right. My legs still feel heavy. That's no good going into a 20-minute effort. So those of you who know what your power is or what your heart rate is Feel free to look down and be like, oh. I did. I'm trying to listen to music, but I keep connecting to the wrong thing. So 50 seconds until we get going. For a 20. Yeah. So if you know your heart rate, you know your power, aim for that, and then a little bit higher. Maybe 5-10 watts higher than that. No, it'll be slower than the 5, for sure. The 5, it's that exponential drop off. So this will be a lot slower. 17 seconds. I would say probably 80% of that last one. Whatever you can hold for 20 minutes. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you on the other side. Pop this back out. Full belly breaths. 5 minutes in. Quarter of the way. 1/4. 10 minutes. Now is the time to kick it up if you feel good, halfway. Just a slight increase if you can. Hang in there. 5 more minutes. 3/4. Hang on. This is the easy part. Four minutes. Nothing. Three minutes. Two and a half. 7/8. Only 2 minutes. One minute. 45. $30. $15. Five, four, three, two, one. Done. Oh. Good job, everyone. Oh, fuck. Nice and easy for about another minute. Yeah, it's just miserable. Well, we won't know this time, but we'll know next time. It's okay if you didn't hit lap. I forgot to. That's okay. I told you to do it and I didn't do it myself, so I can break it down. No problem in the software. That's okay. I can look at yours too. For heart rate, because there is so much lag, I almost prefer you don't hit the button because it starts it and cuts it off too early while your heart rate's still. All right, nice and easy for a minute. And by easy, I mean super easy. Oh, everybody happy? That's done. Good job, yes. No, I refuse. I told you, you did the fan, so you could have had a pass today.
I have to say, this is actually came up real fast. Like, I feel like we just did it.
I think you were outside when I said this. I do, personally, assessments really close together at the beginning of the season. And I mean, the reason why I do that is because we have some residual fitness from last year. We take an off season, we lose that fitness. But that fitness is really easy to get back. Still in there. I don't know if you ever heard the old school myth, I think is officially now. Like, if you were ever really muscular, your body remembers that so you can get muscular really easily again. No. But I mean, there is something to say that if your body was able to do it once before, it'll be able to do it once again. But for example, when I got fat in college, I didn't just go to the gym and then immediately be like, yeah. It took a long time and it took a lot of work. So it depends on how long. Yeah. But we had in the grand scheme of things, a relatively short off season. So our fitness will come back really quick in the beginning. So we assess really close together so that we know we're not just taking it too easy, where our zones are set for something, but we're actually capable of much more. When we regain that fitness and start trying to break through that ceiling of getting more fitness, then it'll go to like 6 weeks because it's just exhausting trying to test this much. Yeah. So it takes, no. Yes. Well, there is a benefit to that, but there's also a hidden drawback. Is neuromuscularly, you'll get burnt out and fatigued. If we have a long race season, I don't want to test you a lot because it goes back to that analogy of burning matches. If we have a book of matches for the season, we don't want to burn most of them testing. But say when we start getting into, now that we've finished our power max work and we get into anaerobic and then VO2 and then threshold, that will be big mental testing. 15, 20 minutes at threshold by 2, so 40 minutes total work. That'll get you ready. But we do that specifically really close to race day so that we're prepared for that. Actually, really interesting note on that after our next effort and in our cool down. So we have 40 seconds and then it's just 1 minute of work. That's all I'm asking. 1 minute. 30 seconds, go as hard as you can and just try and hang on for that last 30 seconds. Okay? 20 seconds.
So what you did today for the first time in probably weeks. I think since we started training again, I think I've lost
15, that's awesome. 15 seconds, start building into it. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go for it. $15, 10, 30 seconds in, hang on. $20 more. 15 more. 10. 5. And done. Oh. Oh. I just can't get back on top of it. So it's higher. Yeah. So Jenny, talking about heart rate, did you think about what we talked about last time? How your heart rate, when you look at it after, should grow consistently? Do you feel like that happened? Or do you feel like you took it easy in the center again? Okay. Okay, so when I look at your data, I'm gonna see, was it as bad as last time? Did we get better? Today is one of those, okay, for those of you on Zwift, our workout is over, but I would recommend a longer cool down if you can afford it. Today is one of those days is do as I say, not as I do. Because I don't know if you kept hearing me, but I would drop into an easier gear for just 10 seconds to be like, oh, give me a break. Like, I need anything. And then I would hop back up. And I mean, that's not the ideal way that you want to do it. But, I mean, whatever gets you through. So as long as we keep, yeah. But if we keep making progress on that middle part where you take it easy and you just take it a little less easy every time, that'll be great. Liz, how did you feel on yours? I am too. I'll send you a picture of it again if you want. So, again, I think we talked about this last time as well. So the comment was, I don't think I worked hard enough in the end because I wasn't breathing hard, but I don't know if I could work any harder. So that to me screams good aerobic, good heart rate, good blood circulation, weakness in the muscles. So your muscles just aren't capable of hanging on to an effort hard enough to make you go by the end of it. Okay. So what's really going to benefit you, similar to when we talked before, you're not super strong on the sprints, but you can go for a really long time. That's your forte. So when we're doing 20-minute intervals to build up that muscular endurance, that's going to be super beneficial to you. The Muscular strength is also beneficial, but the cardio isn't as important. To me, that's just super indicative of a background in running and not cycling. So your cardio is there, but in cycling, we're super dependent on quads and hamstrings and glutes. The rest is relatively calm. And so if you don't have that strength here to get your body working hard enough, you won't feel it aerobically.
I felt different after the first assessment.
Yeah? Better? Different?
Yeah, I kind of already agreed after the first.
You were coming back from sea level,
That's true.
so you're probably more adapted to elevation at this point. But the big question is, 4 to 6 weeks from now, did we go farther? And then we'll see if we're improving. Okay, with that said, I'm going to just throw up our lead sponsor of today, who's Try and Try Coaching, which provides private elite coaching to triathletes around the Roaring Fork Valley. For any of you who have questions, comments, have favorite workouts that you want to do, I can now, you're welcome, Michelle, thank you for joining us. I can now make both custom run and bike workouts on Zwift and can send you the file. So feel free to contact us at support@aspentriathlon.club. Finally, thank you for joining us, and please sign up or donate, because we're a nonprofit organization and that's what helps us keep running, and hopefully we'll be able to provide this to more and more people as we continue to grow. So thank you, everyone, and good work.